How to repel every crawling, biting, buzzing bastard on Earth when the world is ended and the bug spray aisle is a memory. You shove 2 scraps of metal into the dirt, nothing happens. But 6 inches below your boots, every insect within 15 feet just got an eviction notice they cannot ignore. It's not magic, it's not voodoo, it's a battery built from rust, wet soil, and a forgotten chemistry trick the U.S. military used in 1943 to keep ants out of Pacific ammo dumps, then quietly buried in a manual nobody reopened. Now the world is ended. The bug spray aisle is a memory. Mosquitoes find you in the dark like you owe them money. Roaches march across your floor like landlords. And the only thing standing between you and being eaten alive in your sleep is a piece of copper, a galvanized nail, and one secret the insect kingdom prays you never learn. Here's the dirty little secret nobody told you before the lights went out. Insects navigate, hunt, and breathe through electroreception and weak bioelectric fields. Their antennae are basically tiny voltmeters. Bees do it, ants do it, spiders feel static charge on their leg hairs. There's real science here. University of Bristol, 2013, Sutton and Robert proved bumblebees detect electric fields from flowers. Same year, follow-up studies showed spiders use static electricity to ambush prey. This isn't witchcraft, it's published, peer-reviewed, and now your problem to weaponize. When you stick 2 different metals into moist soil, you create a galvanic cell, a baby battery, half a volt, maybe less, useless for charging your dead phone. But to a cockroach, that tiny field is a screaming neon sign that says leave. Let's build the damn thing. Method 1, the classic copper-zinc dirt sandwich. Fine copper, old pipe, scrap wire stripped from a dead lamp, a penny minted before 1982 if you're feeling nostalgic. Those are 95% copper. Anything after that is zinc with a copper tan. Pull copper from the guts of an extension cord, the back of a busted fridge, an abandoned hardware store nobody's looted yet because nobody knows what copper does anymore. Now find zinc, galvanized nails, galvanized fence wire, the outer casing of an old carbon-zinc battery. Peel it like a metal banana, but wear gloves unless you want chemical burns to remember me by. Roofing nails, bucket handles, anything with that dull silvery sheen that looks like it's been kissed by a ghost. Drive the zinc into the soil, about 6 inches deep. Drive the copper in about a foot away, same depth. The dirt between them is your electrolyte, but only if it's moist. Bone-dry soil does nothing. Pour a little water on it. Pee on it if you have to. Ammonia in urine actually boosts conductivity. Survival isn't pretty. Run a wire from copper to zinc, any wire, even the thin garbage inside old headphones. The circuit closes, current flows, a field blooms in the soil, invisible, silent, maybe 0.5 to 0.9 volts depending on your metals and how wet your dirt is. Ants hate it. They will reroute their entire colony to avoid the field. Termites won't cross it. Slugs curl up and reconsider their life choices. Turns out a mild electric field across their slime trail feels like stepping on a Lego made of lightning. Method 2, the perimeter ring, for when one cell isn't enough and your shack is under siege. String a series of zinc-copper pairs around the foundation of wherever you sleep. Space them about 18 inches apart. Connect them in a loop with wire. You've now built a low-voltage moat. Not enough to fry anything, just enough to make every crawling thing turn around and bother your neighbor, assuming your neighbor still has a face. If you've got an old solar garden light still working, gut it. Use its tiny panel to keep a small capacitor charged. Pulse the field every few seconds. Now you've got an active repellent, not just a passive one. Bugs adapt to constant fields. They don't adapt to pulses. Their antennae freak out and they bail.
Method 3, the bed frame Faraday trick, for sleeping without becoming a buffet. Wrap copper wire around the legs of your cot. Wrap zinc wire around the frame. Connect them through a damp cloth. Yes, a damp cloth. The moisture is your electrolyte. The cloth becomes a soft battery. The current trickles through the metal of the bed itself. Mosquitoes hunt by detecting CO2, body heat, and, here's the kicker, the weak bioelectric field your skin gives off. When your bed is humming with its own competing field, you become invisible, static on their radar. They fly past your face like you don't exist, which in the apocalypse is the highest compliment a mosquito can pay you. Spiders won't climb the legs, ants won't column up the posts, bedbugs, if your mattress is haunted, get disoriented and lose the scent trail. The science for the skeptical and the bored. When zinc oxidizes in moist soil, it dumps electrons. Copper accepts them. That electron flow is current. The current generates a field. Insects, especially the small ones, have sensory hairs called sensilla that pick up these fields the way your ear picks up a mosquito whine at 3 a.m. To them, your zinc-copper rig sounds like a foghorn in a library. They leave. Pro move, add a third metal, aluminum from a soda can, between the copper and zinc. You just built a multi-cell array. Voltage jumps, field widens. NASA tested similar three-metal soil cells in the 70s for remote sensors. Your backyard is now a low-budget Mars probe that hates roaches. Bigger payoff? This battery doesn't die for months, years if your zinc is thick. It's powered by dirt and decay, two things the apocalypse has in obscene abundance. No batteries to replace, no chemicals to mix, no spray to inhale and grow a third lung. And here's the bonus nobody mentions. The same rig, scaled up with more pairs in series, can power a single LED. Not bright, not useful for reading, but enough to mark a trap, a trail, a warning. Free light from rotting dirt. The world ended, and somehow you're still inventing the 1800s from scratch. What it won't do, because I'm not a liar, it won't repel wasps in flight. They're too high above the field. It won't stop a rat. It won't keep flies off a corpse. And trust me, you'll learn that the hard way. It works on crawlers, climbers, and low-flying bloodsuckers, anything with antennae that touch the ground or your skin, anything that navigates by feel. It also won't work in pure sand or frozen ground. No moisture, no party. If winter hits, bury the metals deeper, below the frost line, and pour a little salt water down before you go to sleep. Salt boosts conductivity. Just don't oversalt. Corrodes your zinc in days instead of years. One last thing, because the wasteland teaches you to think sideways. If you find an old galvanized bucket and a copper pot, you don't even need to drive stakes. Bury the bucket, put wet dirt in it, sit the copper pot inside the dirt, not touching the bucket walls. Wire them together. Congratulations, you just built a bug-repelling planter. Grow garlic in it. Now you've got food and a force field. The garlic also repels vampires, allegedly, but I haven't tested that one, and I don't plan to. If your skin tingles when you touch both metals at once, congrats, you're the circuit. If it shocks you, congrats twice. Your dirt is rich and your battery is strong. If nothing happens, your soil's too dry or your zinc is fake. Half the galvanized hardware made after 2010 is aluminum cosplay. Scratch it. Real zinc flakes. Fake zinc just laughs at you. The bugs don't laugh, though. The bugs leave. And in a world where everything wants a piece of you, the radiation, the raiders, the rot, getting one species off your back with 2 pieces of scrap metal and a handful of wet dirt feels like winning a war nobody else even knew was being fought. The grid is dead, the stores are dusk, but the dirt under your boots is still a battery. It always was. We just forgot. Now you remember.